Hey guys, how's it going? Well, today I am going to be just running the Twitch VOD of my run from Resident Evil 2 Leon's A scenario, the GameCube emulator, Japanese edition. My run that I did last night, the time is an hour, 5 minutes, and 34 seconds, so I'm just going to run through it, commentate here and there on choices I made, things I could have done better, and I hope you guys enjoy it, so let's go ahead and start.
Biohazard 2.
So basically nothing really to say from the start, just run straight line, hit left a little bit, get around that guy, and then try to hug the wall. You could squeeze past that first zombie and get to there. I am using an auto splitter for the Dolphin auto splitter, so it's going to do all my splits manually for me. And also I'd like to note that whenever I skip a cutscene, if you notice that the timer jumps up, it jumps up the exact time that the timer or that the cutscene is for. So if you see the timer jumping up after cutscenes because I'm skipping them, that's why. So it does add to the initial game time. So I could have done a little bit better for this. You basically just want to run until you trigger the zombies, turn around. You can shoot the legs of the first one to make them stagger backwards like that, but it's a lot easier just to run through and push those two down. At least that's in my opinion. Now the ways that I'm going to be running this, may not be the most perfect ways, but it's the way I've done it. I can always improve on stuff, so there's always that. Alright, make sure you watch out for her because she can do a grab like that. So make sure you just get a far enough distance and watch out for that last zombie as well because sometimes he might be blocking the door, so you might have to bait him left or right. The Misty zombie on the floor, get her 3 times or 2 depending. Shoot him down and then run by. I actually got lucky there because he went to jump for my legs. Usually you can shoot him down. If you're lucky, you can actually squeeze by him, but I always get bit doing it that way, so I just do 1 or 2 shots down to make him fall backwards. The layout of the zombies in the Japanese version, it's a lot easier in the Japanese version, at least in my opinion. The layout in the US version of this, of the GameCube game, it's a lot harder. So, at least in my opinion. So, now that we've cleared that, and I'll be noting what subtle differences there are in the US post the Japanese version other than the text. So we actually made it to the RPD in a pretty decent time, 2 minutes and 28 seconds. I was trying to do sub 2:30 anyways on that. But yeah. And then you'll notice here that, soon watch how fast the timer goes up. Yeah, see, it goes up because that cutscene's really long. So it adds to it. So it is kind of like, it was jarring at first because when I just got the auto splitter to work. So, yeah, I was confused, but now I know. Alrighty, when you get to the liquor, just go ahead and skip the cutscene. The tinge left just a little bit. You just run right by him. He'll miss you every time. For this next dodge, basically you just want to buffer and make sure you're just holding run and then just go up and to the left. So just squeeze up and then just until you hit the wall, hit left, and there's been a couple times or two I've gotten hit by it, but it's one of the easier dodges in the game. So since we're going to be coming back through this way, we do half of the statue puzzle first. So we go and push this one first. So that's up 3, and then it's over to the right 9, and then I believe it's another 3 or 4. Just a good way to count your heads, because you can overshoot it sometimes. Yeah, so it's 294. So when you come in here, just make sure you hug the innermost wall. Is a way to escape the zombies. So run forward, grab the diary, exit out, grab the unicorn medal, skip the cutscene, zoom right out. Pretty easy. Make sure you don't run straight forward on your way out, because he's right there. Alright, so now that we're on our way back, we can finish the other half of the puzzle. So you can go ahead and move that 3. Now when you're moving back, make sure you move it 9 spaces, but move it like 9 1/4. Like you want to tinge it just a little bit more, because if you do it too less, you're not going to get it. If you do it too much, it's going to hit the back wall. So you just want to hit that sweet spot. If you've done it a million times, it's like you can kind of just feel for it yourself. So now we're going back to the main hall to put the unicorn medal in the statue to get the spade key. Now something you want to do right here is as soon as you get access to the screen, aim at the first zombie and just run the line that it does, and it pretty much beelines you right for the door, and you'll skip it every time. Alright, hug the innermost wall. Watch out for the zombie arms. Same thing with this one. As long as you're tinged and turned mostly towards the inside wall, they won't grab you. There's been a few times they've grabbed me. It's kind of, you waste about 10 seconds doing it, but same thing with the liquor here. Actually got pretty lucky here. He almost got me right there, but usually hugging the innermost wall, you can skip him. I went ahead and put the knife away here really quick because I don't need it, and we need as many item spots as we can get. Now the only thing that I'm slowly learning how to do a little bit faster, and I need to like put it in my brain, is doing item menuing. I'm learning that pressing triangle to get out of a menu is a lot quicker than pressing circle twice. I just need to get in my brain where items are before I get to them, so I know exactly where to press and not like zoom all over the menu doing it. That's something I need to improve on, but I am slowly getting better with this. I just wanted to upload an actual run for once, get it up on the leaderboards hopefully. Alright, so on your way back, as soon as the camera angle changes, tinge to the right a little bit. Like, just instead of going straight, just move to the right, and when you run around that corner, it'll make the liquor back up, and it works 90% of the time doing it that way. He might swipe you, might miss it. Even if you take a one swipe, it's better than getting slam dunked. That's what I always call it. So we're only going to have to worry about the liquor hallway. Actually, honestly, I think that's this is the last time, at least in the A scenario. Actually, no, I take that back. When I have to get the diamond key, I have to go back here again, and I do the same thing. So now that we are on our way back, and this is one of the last times we'll be going through this corridor, we want to go ahead and grab the red jewel from the briefing room over here, or interrogation room, or whatever you want to call it. Actually, not interrogation room, just briefing room. Go ahead and grab your lighter, burn the painting, get the jewel, grab it and run. This is the first time I've actually narrated a run in the post, so I apologize if it's kind of boring. I'm just kind of anything that I feel like is a key point or something to mention in the run as far as a tactic or something that I use, I want to talk about, but I'm just going to be quiet and let the run talk for itself when, applicable. So we're going to be doing the same dodge here for this next part, just up and to the left. It's always good to buffer each and every time you go in a room. I am always holding circle and up as soon as I enter a room. If I know that it's just going to be a clear shot, if I know there's going to be an enemy there and I don't want to run into them, just always buffer so that way your running animation's right there as soon as you start. So we grab the second jewel and go about it. Alright, so as soon as you enter this room, move left and just follow the line down the innermost wall, and then just follow around him. Pretty easy to get by him really quick. Okay, we discarded the spade key. Alright, so don't worry about any of these zombies here. We won't be going through this hallway anymore, so just run right by them. Alright, so some people do this tactic different. Some people wait to do this. I do it first. Grab the bishop plug. A lot of people wait until after they get to the 3rd floor here, but I feel like that's a waste of time. You might as well just get it now, so you're only having to go up this stairs 1 time. Or 2 times, rather. So, simple puzzle here. You just want to move the leftmost bookcases both to the right. Even though it's in Japanese, you know where the menuing is, so it's really not too hard to figure out. Alright, so now we have acquired the bishop plug. Alright, so that is the library done. Alright, so this hallway is a little bit different than the US version. This zombie here is more towards the right, so it's harder to dodge him. And there's actually 2 zombies coming around the corner. There's usually one right here, and then this other one that's right here is more further down. So they make it a lot easier because he's kind of way off to the outmost area, so running by him is actually quite an easy task. So I like that in the Japanese version, because if not, what I'd usually do if I was running the US version is I would shoot the one zombie and try to do it fast enough so I could get around the second one. Alright, so now we are on our way to get the valve handle. Which, what Resident Evil game would not be a Resident Evil game without a valve handle? Alright, don't worry about the crows here. As long as you keep moving, they won't get you. As long as you follow a straight line, you can get there pretty quickly. Alright, here comes one of the kind of technical dodges in the game. Just try to just run right through. Kind of just do like make an S with your running pattern, and then just cut through that lamppost and follow straight down. Alright, so go ahead and run around the corner, grab the valve handle. Now on the way back, what we're going to be doing is exactly the same pattern, but in reverse. Unfortunately, though, I did get bit by the one male zombie. I could have, if I would have veered more left, I would have been fine. I would have just said reverse S, and that's fine. One bite is fine with me. I've been grabbed multiple times. Alright, so now that we have the valve handle, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and use it right here. And put out the helicopter so that way we can access the other rooms that we need. All right, on the return trip, just keep moving. The crows won't get you. All right, now that we had used the valve handle to extinguish the helicopter, this hallway is now accessible. So we just make sure, note where the zombie is. If he's on the right side, just run to the left, vice versa. If you get there quick enough, that zombie in the corner won't be out far enough that you can run by. And then you can just go ahead and get around. Now everybody does this next puzzle different. This is the way I do it. I always just put in the gemstones first. I'll put in the far one first. And then I'll go over and grab the other gemstone, put it in there. And then what I'll do is I'll just move to the rightmost. You can actually pick it up from that side. Then we got the king plug, and then just move all the way to left and go in and grab the diamond key. And now we are done. Alright, so on the way out here, just run past the first zombie. Note where the second one is. Kind of just wait a second. If you got to take a couple of seconds just to position yourself, just to make sure that you don't run into them, it's better to just take a few seconds and figure out what you're doing, opposed to taking a bite. You know, either way, you're going to lose time. So just try to keep a good shot of where you're going. So now we're going to go reverse through this, because now we need to go back through But now we're going to lower the emergency ladder. Go down. So basically we're going to run back through the way through the liquor hallway again. For the last time for this scenario at least. Alright, so same tactic. As soon as the weapon, or as soon as it changes to that scene, just tinge to the right a bit and kind of make an angle and just cut right through him. A lot of times when you run straight at the liquor and you back up, he will back up. But if you do it that way, 9 times out of 10 he will back up and you don't got to worry about it. Which is good. Alright, so this hallway over here is still full of zombies, but there's a good way to get through it. So basically what you want to do is you want to run forward a bit and do it. I ended up getting grabbed anyways. If you do it, I was just more to the left than I should have been. You can get by her easy. Just one of the mistakes I made. Now in this hall, you just want to wait for that first zombie to move and just run by him. Now I got grabbed here, and that's fine. I managed to get through it without getting grabbed too much. You can make it through without getting hit. Now I did take a bite and I'm on caution, so I am going to use this green herb right here. Kills me a few seconds, but beats being on caution and lowering your gait and your overall speed. So you can get, normally what you're supposed to do here with Marvin is taking a step back and running forward, and you can dodge him. I just, one of the times that didn't happen. I wasn't going to reset the run just because I didn't make the dodge. So it's not that big a deal. Either way, we made it through. Now we have the heart key, which only has a single use for the doors. So now we're going to head over to the east side of the RPD now. First floor, rather. We've been on the second floor. So just make a dash through here. We don't need to do anything through there. That'll be the last area of the police station that we take care of. Now basically you just want to run through here and beeline. That zombie grabbed me or tried to grab me as soon as I entered the room, which was kind of crazy. So we got rid of the heart key now, and now we are going to be heading into the basement. Now for the life of me, I'm so damn terrible at dodging dogs. I know there's a way to do it. You're supposed to like bait them, but I never do well. I'm never good at the dogs. It's another thing I need to work better on. Alright, so now we have met Ada. Go ahead and skip the cutscene. Because you can. Thank God for the GameCube versions. Go ahead and push that. Skip the cutscene. And we are gone. Alright, so we need to head back to the cells in the back of this room to speak to Mr. Ben Bertolucci, so he can tell us how to get into the sewer, and we have to grab the manhole cover remover anyways. Before we speak to Ben, though, since I am on caution again for the second time, go ahead and grab this green herb here. Wastes about 10 seconds or so, but it's okay. I was just trying to place at this point. I'm still doing pretty decent. It could be worse. Basically, so he tells you where you need to go, grab the manhole cover, and get out of here. Alright, go ahead and use the manhole opener right there. Now down here, 9 times out of 10, the spiders never get me. They didn't get me this time, which is thankful. Basically, you just want to make sure you hug the outmost wall. That one won't get you. This one's always placed differently. He actually almost got me there. If he does happen to spit poison on you, just make a quick visit to the save room to the left and grab it there. So that way you're not, killing yourself. All right, a lot of people do this differently. This is what I do is they'll just enter the door and leave and trigger the Ada cutscene. I just put these two in here now, so that way I don't have to use all of the diamond keys, not the diamond key, sorry, the club keys uses, so I have extra space. All right, so we take control of Ada for a short bit. Go ahead and dodge past him. Alright, so as Ada now we have to solve the box puzzle. Wouldn't be a Resident Evil game without a box puzzle. So you don't actually have to push all of the boxes, 3 boxes flush to the back. You can actually leave a little bit of a gap. And they'll still all go up the same as long as it's not too much. So like, you notice how that center one is perfectly flush, but the right one's not. And then this left one, I won't do it as well. That should be fine. Saves you, a second or so by not doing it, but, every second counts. Alright, so we now have the club key, and the key of clubs is now done. See, I like having this auto splitter because it definitely makes it takes a lot of having to press buttons out of the thing. It makes it very nice. Alright, dodge past him. I think I get past both of these in this run. Yeah, I do. Even if you get bit, it's Ada. Anyways, she's got a first aid spray on her if necessary. Okay, so we are now Leon again. Make sure you grab the key that she throws over for you. And we are now out of here. Now, a rare and funny thing actually happened to me through here, and this has never happened to me before. So, I always run past that one, and for some reason I was just too off to the right, and he shoulder checked me. Didn't really hurt too much, but he definitely bumped into me, which was really weird because that's never really happened to me before. Okay, so now that we have the club key, we can actually go ahead and leave the sewers for now. So, something to also note from the Japanese version to the US version, there's only 1 liquor in this hallway opposed to 2, which makes it significantly easier. And man, oh man, did I do a good judge on this. You basically want to run straight on, head to him, and then back up, or not do that, and he runs right over you. It happened the other time I ran the run, too. He always tries to, what I like to call the Michael Jordan slam, because he does the whole arm and the leap like Michael Jordan did when he slammed, and he has his tongue out, the whole funny thing. So that's why I always call it the MJ slam. And he does it right over you. Alright, so we want to use the club key right here. Now we have the Magnum, which is important. You have to grab the Magnum, unless you have a death sentence. Alright, so on our way back, we have to go out into the hall. I was stupid right here, and I went too much, and I ran right into him. The only reason why I didn't go straight through is because that zombie's now repositioned, and last time I did it, I ran right into him. I'd rather take an ankle bite than a full-on bite. Alright, so for this right here, basically, you just want to move forward a little bit and bait all the zombies over to the left-hand side, and then when you do, just run all the way over to the other side, hug the outer wall, and you can actually squeeze right by them. Okay, so the red hallway is like the bane of my existence in these runs. I always either make it or break it. Either I do really well or I don't. So on the way through, I didn't do bad. I made it past him. Or no, see, I didn't make it past him. I apologize. So I basically got bit by every single zombie. He got me. Actually, no, he didn't get me, but Misty got me. So that always, for some reason, sometimes I do it really well, sometimes I don't do it well at all. It's really upsetting. So I took a first aid here. And you want to go ahead and grab the other plug. Watch out for the liquor. Pretty easy. And I'm fairly sure right here I got grabbed by the last zombie. I just wanted every zombie to grab me on the way here because that's just, yep, ran right into him. Okay, so this will be the last key that we use or last door we use the club key on. Go and use the lighter there, light the furnace. 12, 13, 11 is the puzzle solution, for those of you wondering if you don't know. I like to pretend like everybody is watching my videos. It's the first time they're playing, so I like to just educate people. So now we turn that on and it grabs the cog, and we are essentially done with the police station. We just now to get to the 3rd floor and go and leave. So on the way back is when I do perfect. I actually missed. I dodge every single one of them. Run right behind her, swim to the left. Yeah, see, if I could have done that on the way forward, that would have been great. But, you know, hit and miss. I got one way perfect, so that was good enough for me. I'll say, on the way back here, basically you just want to hug the opposite wall. Go dodge around them, don't even worry about any of them, and you should make it through pretty good as long as you stay on that outside wall. I know it's a little intimidating with 7 zombies being there, but you can get through it. Alright, so now we're going to make our way back to the 2nd floor, so we're going to take the emergency ladder to get up there. Alright, so there is a liquor up here, just twinge left and run, and he won't get you. That's the cutscene with all the zombies coming out of the windows, so when I do beat scenario, I'll have to hang out with those guys. Alright, so since I did the bishop plug earlier on in library, the first time I was in there, I don't have to go do that now, so like I said, it would have been a waste of time going up the staircase twice, opposed to just the one time earlier. Alright, so go ahead and use the crank here. Get rid of that. You see what I'm talking about inventory? I'm all over the place. Because I get really hyped up when I do these runs, and it's kind of like an adrenaline thing, so I'm like all over the place. So I apologize. I got to be more calm and collected with the item menuing. Sometimes I do really well, and I know exactly what I need, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so now that we've put the cog in there, it really reveals the dust trap, and the night plug, and we can go ahead and leave. Ben gets an embryo implanted in him by Mr. William Birkin, or the G mutation. I don't remember which one it was. Gives you mail to the chief. Ada runs off. Ben's dead, unfortunately, and now we have to leave. Now we can leave the police station again. Alright, so it's going to be the same tactic going through the sewers again. Just hug that outermost wall with the first spider, because he's just going to be right there. And then the second one, I actually got lucky where he was at. As long as you run by him before its front legs go up, you usually can get around. Alright, so I switched to the Magnum here because we have to face the G embryo. No, I believe it's either 5 or 7 shots that take him down. Unfortunately for the Magnum, it has damage drop off depending on how far away you are. So you don't want to get too close because he'll swipe you. So I got him done in 7. If I would have gotten closer, I know there's a faster way to do it, but I was just trying to be safe and do it that way. Luckily, it didn't take me out those his little spawn didn't really take me off a status change, which I was happy with that. All right, so we are now done with the police station, and now we are in the sewers officially. Switch back to the handgun because I will be needing it later, and I do not want to accidentally use the Magnum. Alrighty, so what we're going to go ahead and do is now cutscene's going to ensue. Leon's going to get shot by Annette. And we're going to go ahead and take control of Ada for the second and final time of the game. Make sure you unequip her handgun as soon as possible because having her not have her handgun makes her run a little faster and it makes it easier to get through the moth ventilation. Just a thing to do. Because getting hit by the moths is really... Or, sorry, they're not moths, I apologize. The cockroaches. So yeah, just run beeline straight for the other side of the vent. And you should get through fine. It's the only time you have to worry about them. Alright, so... Cutscene will ensue, and then Ada will talk. Talk about William transforming, how everything was spread. They fight over the gun. She smacks her, bitch smacks her over the railing, and then that's that. So that's really the only time you play as Ada. And then... Yeah, crocodile. So now we are Leon again. Even though we got shot, we're not really hurt. But I did get nabbed by those little... spawn from the G embryo, so since the fan is turned back on, we actually have to run this opposite way. Don't worry about the spiders. As long as you run fast, they won't be able to drop acid on you, so just keep moving. Alright, use the valve handle, or attempt to use the valve handle because for some reason I wasn't pointed there. Then make sure you put it back up on the opposite side so that way you can walk across the catwalk and I have to go take the long way around. Alright, so the giant croc. There is a tactic to do the one shot for it, but I haven't got it down yet, so I just do what I always do. Just wait for him to come right around the corner. Press it, let the canister fall. Wait for him to bite it. I do it in 2. There's probably a faster way, but just how I do it. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and grab the gold, or the eagle model right here. Use the valve handle for the last and final time. And luckily, because the fans are on, now the cockroaches are not there and you don't got to worry about it. Maybe come over here and grab the silver medal. Just watch out for Ada, because there's been times where she's blocked my way to get down and ruined my time. So just make sure you do it really quick, because sometimes she can block you up there. Don't worry about the zombies, just run right by them. Alright, once you put the 2 medals in, now we are done with the sewers. So we turn on the tram car. Now Mr. X is going to be busting his arms in through, not Mr. X, geez, William Birkin's going to be busting through. Just wait for him to go, turn, fire a shot, wait, he's going to be on the other side, wait for it to go through, fire a shot, do the same. Actually, got a little close here, and I was in between, and decided to come out that hole again. So I just backed up really quick, got really close, and it was really quick, and it was done. Alright, so that was the end of that. I forgot Ada got hit by the spider. She's fine though. Not worried about it. Alright, so what I go ahead and do here is I just let the zombie, I just grab him and let him bite me. It's a lot quicker than shooting. Now, a lot of times he'll do that, and you go to bend him, and he does the Neo back bend and just doesn't fall down. He just goes right back up, which is kind of annoying, but it's okay. Now, with these 2 zombies here, you can run by them. I made it past the first one. The second one, I believe, got me, though. Yeah, if I would have ran to the right instead of the left, I would have been fine. See, look, he did it again. These zombies are made of rubber, but it's okay. Alright, so go ahead and grab the Magnum rounds off of the table. Make sure you reload said Magnum, or just look at them like I did because I'm stupid. Equipped it. And I vouched to grab the first aid spray here. Grab the train key. Make sure you grab those Magnum rounds that are over there. Also, I'd like to know it's in a different spot than it is normally in the US version. In the US version, it's actually in the toilet over there. In the Japanese version, it's around the corner in the conductor's room, I guess. Alright, go ahead and start the train. Alright, so we're coming up to the second boss fight of the game against Birkin G2. Now, this is the way I do it to avoid damage. I know there's a faster way to do it, but I've been practicing within. This is the way I did it that at least works for me. I'm going to show you how to do it. So essentially what you're going to want to do, as soon as you have control of Leon, aim down, pot shot, run a little farther away, fire off 3 shots, 1, 2, 3, step backwards, wait for him to swipe, run by it, go run by, get at least a few distances away, shoot off 4 shots, 2, 3, 4, that'll make him transform, fire 1 more time to reload, and then as soon as he's done with the animation of transforming, aim off, and he's dead. It's the way I like to do it. I was practicing that for, God, for like at least 45 minutes to an hour, just trying to find like a good tactic to do. It works for me. I know there's a faster one where you can hide behind the console, but I just haven't perfected it yet, and I didn't want to have it run end or at least me get hurt. I'd rather take a little bit more time, not get hit, and have more healing items, opposed to running a risk of being really hurt. So now we are in the underground lab. Make sure you pick up the magnum ammo that's on the table. I don't equip I don't know if anybody else does this, but I don't re-equip a weapon until I get to the room where I get the ammo disc. Having free hands and run a little faster. At least in my opinion, I think you do. Alright, so I just grabbed the first aid because I said why not. I think that's why I got an A ranking and not an S ranking, because I had used too many, but it's whatever. I don't care about rank, I just want to beat it in time. Alright, so now that we have the main fuse, what we're going to go ahead and do now is we have to put it into the little center rotunda to turn on the power so we can access the red section of the laboratory. For some reason right there, the game thought I wasn't close enough. It was like, oh no, you're good. And then I tinged forward, you know, half a second. And there you go. Alright, so to get away around these IV, just move to the left and just push by them. You'll be able to push by them before they finish their animation of sprouting, I guess. Alright, don't worry about that IV, just go down the ladder. Now I actually get a good RNG for these 3 super liquors that are in here. Yeah, I got actually really well doing it that way. That's like the most optimal, ideal way you want to see that happen. Alright, so we are going to go grab the lab key card now. Just go ahead and run by him. Make sure you get through the door quick enough before that zombie goes too far where you can't get through it. Go ahead and grab the red key card. If you happen to not have enough room to run backwards through that, just run around the zombie. Alright, everything's good. So that was pretty optimal the way that worked as well. Alright, so on the way back, the RNG wasn't as good as it usually is. I got swiped a couple of times, but I didn't get slammed by the. I just go ahead and opted to use it really quick. Yeah, so I didn't get hit by either one of those, which is good. I'll take some slashes to the ankle as opposed to getting jump slashed. So that works for me. So don't worry about that IV again. Go through the door. Now, I always get hung up on this part. I always least the IV right here always poisons me, but I actually got by it this time, which is good. Just keep moving, hug that outside wall, and you should be fine. There's been times I've gotten hit running by. There's been times I've ran right directly into its arm. So that's usually a run ender right there, because then if you're poisoned, then you got to run all the way back to the room where you started at and get the blue herb if you happen to pick one up. I can't remember if there's one actually in that room. So yeah. All right, so this is where I equip the Magnum. As soon as you get in the room, pot shot that zombie so you can get over. You should only have to kill 2 zombies in this room, just one. And kill that one. Actually, I ended up killing 3 because I aimed for the wrong one. Normally you should only just kill 2. And then I ended up using that other one because I needed to make space. Because I needed to get the well, I needed to get space because I grabbed another herb. I feel like it was stupid to do that. I probably didn't need to grab that one. Wasted a bit of time doing that. But we have the ammo disc, and we are in the last hurdle of the game. Annette talks about me killing her husband. She gets hit by pipes, dies. We get replaced with the T virus, or sorry, rather the G virus. At this point, my heart was beating out of my chest, and I was freaking out because there's been plenty of times G4 Birkin has killed me. So I practiced, since this is the emulated version, I actually save stated right before this part in the practice, like right before the room where you face them, and I just kept practicing over and over and over again. And it's a good thing to do for practice, and I just kept practicing the run over and over again. Same thing with G2. I'll just run past that Ivy until I felt confident enough to know that I was not going to get killed, because yesterday, or a couple days ago, I ran it, got all the way to this point, died. And then a week before that, I ran it again, got to this point, and died. So I just didn't want that to happen again, because it's very, very crushing to get all the way to the end of a run and have something like that happen to you. So I wanted to be confident enough to know that I was going to beat him. And now that I've done it, it's honestly like a cakewalk. So go ahead and take out that zombie there. Take her out, the second one around the corner. Run by all these other Zambos here. As long as you run pretty good, you should be fine. Ammo disc. Alright, make sure you reload your Magnum. Sorry, I was like all over the place at this point. I was pretty nervous because I didn't know how I was going to do. Alright, so I'm going to show you how... I did it pretty much perfectly, how the best way to do it, but I'll go ahead and tell you how to do it the way most people do it. Alright, so basically what you're going to want to do is run straight to his left on the P, turn shoot at auto aim, get 3 shots in. It took 4 shots this time, but it actually turned him. And then you just want to make sure Leon's left foot is right where that railing is, right in between that small gap. Aim up. He will always jump up to that side, usually. Just keep aiming. And he'll get stuck there and he won't be able to jump down. He dies. And we're done. Now, for some reason, the auto splitter, I'm just going to tell you this now before it ends. For some reason, the auto splitter did not end or stop once it hit end. Like, my official end time was 1:05:34, but it just kept going. So once it hits that point, it hits past that point, it just keeps going. So, I mean, you'll see my official time at the end, but I don't know why. I haven't gotten a straight answer why that is yet. I'm trying to figure it out. This run is still valid. It still runs well. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and let you guys just enjoy the last end of the run. And I'll talk to you guys at the results screen.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
It's over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning. Goodbye, Ada.
Alrighty guys, we are at the results screen and that is at 1:05:34. Got an A ranking, cleared, no saves. So yeah, pretty decent time for me. Think looking at the leaderboards, that'll put me at 13th place. I know it's not really that high, but for me, I enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as well. If you want to catch me doing this live, make sure you check out my Twitch. I'll leave a link below in the description. And yeah. Try to maybe do Claire's B sometime, but I'm going to catch you guys later, and I'll see you guys next time I play. Thanks for watching, guys.